$10 ADA, a price point that I know for a fact that everybody here would love to see sometime in the near future. And except for maybe the haters. The haters don't want it to go that high. But when are we going to see this? When are we going to see this $10 ADA price point? Well, ChatGPT and Google Bard may have an idea of when this is going to happen. Now, projections are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. This isn't to be construed as financial advice. But what I find interesting about these is as market dynamics change, as there's a shifts in sentiment, these AI predictions do move as well. And this is probably the most bullish I've actually seen some of these projections on ADA. Now, the interesting thing is this actually gave projections for $10, $20, and $30 ADA. Now, again, don't take this as financial advice, guys, but what it said was it may be tough to pinpoint a specific timeline for the price, okay? Because again, the evolution of the market, things are changing, and there's a lot of volatility in crypto. Now, what it did point out was that there are some forecasts from top analysts in the industry that have given much rationale for their thinking. Now, it is noted that ADA is projected to hit a price of $10 by the end of 2024. So basically, actually, a little less than a 20x from where we're at currently, citing key fundamentals like adoption and steady upgrades as potential key catalysts that can fuel this rally. Now, this is from Google Gemini, so again, an AI. Now, what it also said was that the $20 price target may be achieved from 2025 to 2027. However, the growth will not come unless there's widespread market adoption and sustained confidence in the network. And we've talked about, obviously, the massive upgrades that have happened when it comes to Cardano, still more yet to come this year. And this year is really this year and next year are big adoption times for Cardano. This is really where the blockchain can take big steps forward, basically making demand for ADA because of network utilization a catalyst, if you will. Now, what it did also assert is that the $30 range will not be achieved until 2027 or 2030. It only expects ADA to hit this target amid unforeseen market trends and favorable regulations. Jeez. So again, this is the most bullish projections I've seen for ADA. You know, I've talked about where I think ADA would likely be by the end of 2024. I've said it'd probably be somewhere in that like $2 range to $2.50 range. It really all depends. Again, if this market cycle gets an early kickstart, if BTC is higher than where it should be, if alt season begins earlier than when it should, ADA price could be on the more bullish trend of these things. And again, it's not the only coin. There are a lot of coins that I think are going to do extremely well as we move through this market cycle. Now, the ChatGPT assessment tends to be a little bit more on the not bearish side, but more in line with what our projections are. So what this said was their very projection on a 12 to 18 month timeline would expect ADA to hit this $10 price point. Okay. And this again is in 2025. This falls basically right in the middle of our range. We've given ours. I've talked about somewhere between $7 to $15 ADA. Again, as always, this is not financial advice, but that timeline would make a lot of sense. That would actually put us on trend for a normal market cycle. Now, what it also believes is that it might take 2 to 3 years before the coin can grow to $20. Now, what it also said was that the timeline to hit $30 for ADA is somewhere between 3 to 5 years. So basically into the next market cycle, which again would make a lot of sense as well. Now, note that, and I've said this before, this market cycle and the subsequent bear market cycle may be very different because of institutional buying, because of the launch of further ETF products like Ethereum spot ETFs and things like that down the road. We don't know what retracements are going to look like following the end of this bull market cycle. We really have no clue. We have an idea based on history, but again, this consistent inflow of large players, this billions to trillions of dollars, may make things look a little different. We may not pull back as much as we would in the past. That's why, you know, where we would normally maybe pull back to about like $1 or so in terms of ADA, $1.50, somewhere in there, it may be quite a bit higher. Same thing with BTC. You know, if we go on a run to, let's say, 150 to 200K, we may not pull back to, excuse me, we may not pull back to like 50, 60K. All right. Now, again, this is me just spitballing. There's no guarantees in crypto. We'll have a lot better idea of what things are going to look like once we get to late 2025 and we start correcting. And by that point, obviously, we'll know what ADA price is going to be as well. But just be prepared. This cycle is very different, and I think it's going to be extremely exciting. So I appreciate you guys. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Would love to hear if you think that these are in line with what we might see. But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.